Why right now, from your perspective, is it unsafe for your team members to go back to work or for your customers to get lunch?
So we actually opened most of our restaurants today, but over the past week, given the protests going on in most of our markets, we felt the right thing to do, given where our restaurants are, mostly in urban centers, where many of the protests were happening. We thought what made most sense was for the safety of our team members mostly to just close our restaurants, and we did make the decision to pay our employees through this time.
I'm wondering, did it surprise you that a bunch of your peers in similar neighborhoods and similar markets don't seem to have closed? I mean, were you kind of watching someone else? Do you feel you were on the leading edge on that?
You know, we were not watching other people on this. We were just talking to our own teams and our own market leadership, watching the protests, watching the curfews that were being instated, and just seeing some of the damage across the city. We just felt like it was the right thing to do. So it was a very easy decision for us. We have had a number of stores close throughout the past few months, throughout this crisis. We still today, when we're opening most of our fleet, we still have a handful, about 20% of our restaurants still closed because of the COVID crisis. But the restaurants that were open before that are now reopening today.
Jonathan, in a statement you guys made a couple of days ago, I think, or maybe a week ago, this is the quote, said, "We are using our voice to urge every non-Black member of our community to actively engage in anti-racist work." In practice, what do you mean by that? Kind of what are you hoping that your team members, that your customers will do?
Yeah, good question, Dan. So this week, probably similar to the way it's been for most companies and leaders, it's been a very challenging week full of a lot of raw conversations. And for me, the message from us has been first to listen and understand. We all need to educate ourselves more on what's going on. But my message has been one of action. How do we use our voice and our privilege and our platform to be a force for good and a force for change? And so, I think a lot of companies are issuing statements, which are, it's fine to do that and to show this, your support of what's going on. But I think what matters more is the action we can take. And for us at Sweetgreen, I was just listening to the segment before about a company with, leading with purpose. Sweetgreen has always had a very deep purpose in everything we do. Our mission is building healthier communities by connecting people to real food. We think that our opportunity in solving this is we have to play our part. What is Sweetgreen? What can we do where we are uniquely positioned to be part of the solution? We cannot solve the whole problem ourselves, but there's parts of it where we are uniquely positioned, and there's really 4 verticals where we're committed. Yeah, so the first is our work around alleviating food insecurity in low-income and Black neighborhoods. We think food has a huge part in the inequality that is created in a lot of these neighborhoods, and so what we are committing to doing is pivoting our Impact Outpost program, which we set up as part of our COVID response, serving about over 300,000 meals to hospitals. We are increasing that capability. We're expanding that to cover underserved neighborhoods and food deserts. The second is we are going much deeper in support of Black farmers and vendors and championing Black farmers across the country. The third is creating this time and space for our team members to vote. So this is something that we had done before, but we're just highlighting the work around paying our team members for that for the time to vote. And then lastly, it's what we do inside from an HR hot inclusivity perspective, making sure that we have the right mentorship, selection, and just the culture we have is one of equality.
Jonathan, let me ask, you mentioned the COVID crisis.